this country have COVID-related smell loss and might never get it back.
Really?
Yeah, for longer than 6 months.
This is good news for farts.
It's there's so rarely good news for farts that I think it's fantastic.
That might be a next album title.
Bill Squire, good news for farts. Yeah, write that down. You don't want to lose that.
I don't.
They've done some wide-ranging research. The actual condition is called anosmia. And, a lot of people have... There's been a variety of after effects of COVID. They call people long haulers or whatever, and some people have gotten, COVID tongue. Some people have lost their their sense of taste and smell. Some people got obviously they're linked, but some of these people who have had over 6 months of not being able to smell anything, they said I think it's about 1.5 million people. And listen, frankly, as much as people are crying out for rich people to get theirs, this might be it's going to kill the wine tasting industry. Think about that. That's some rich people stuff. I know people don't think it is, but it is. Wine tastings. You got to stick your nose in there. See if the wine has, I think they call it a nose. This wine's got a nice nose, even if I don't.
Here's my hot take on wine. None of it tastes good. I don't care how much it costs. Like, it's none of it's really that good.
Get out of here with your stupid grape juice.
Yeah, it's just, is it going to get me drunk? That's all I care about. I'm going to get
well,
drunk
it will, though.
Yeah, and that's why I don't need expensive wine.
Oh, I see. You can go for $2 Chuck. You don't need to.
I'm fine with that. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'll throw an ice cube in it. I don't give a crap. I don't need and I've gotten into arguments with Mary about this and but the way you get hungover. No, people drink too much wine. That's why they get hungover. I don't care how nice the wine is. If you drink too much alcohol, you're gonna have a hangover. And the thing is, when you have cheap wine, you tend to drink more. If it's coming in a box, you don't really pay attention to how many glasses you're having because you're putting it in a collectible Batman cup.
Yeah, but is there anything, the conventional wisdom has always been that there's that a wine drunk is different than another kind of drunk that might lend itself more to being hungover, consuming the same amount. I never knew if that was true or not because I'm not a wine guy. I like Calamochos. I like red wine and Coke.
That's good. I like that
That's
too.
pretty tasty, but I'm just not my wife likes wine. I'm not a wine guy. It's never my go-to.
I like wine because it is a different kind of drunk, but I think the reason it's different is because it sneaks up on you because you're like, oh, I didn't have that much, but it's a higher percentage than you're used to drinking beer or even, I think, a mixed drink has, it's got some higher alcohol percentage, but I think wine's up there with 12-13%. You're gonna get that buzz quick.
And it's a very social drink, so you're going to drain a bottle before you even know. You know, girls are joking about, we went through 3 bottles, ha, But you're feeling it the next day. But yeah, I was never like I don't have that refined of a palate for,
But that's why, I don't have a refined palate for it at all. But that's why I don't mind getting the Boda box wine, putting it basically it just sits next to my sink. So if it drips, it just goes right into the stainless steel sink. And I don't got anything to worry about cleaning it up. And can just pour a big old glass and have myself a night.
Yeah. Well, the flip side of this coin, by the way, the condition where it causes people to lose their sense of smell from COVID effects, the flip side of that coin is a condition called Ponosmia, which is a distorted sense of smell, which would cause normal everyday smells to smell awful to you. Oh. So you might smell a flower, but it smells like sewage or trash or something. So would you rather have that or rather have no sense of smell?
Oh, I think I'd rather have no sense of smell.
I think I would too. That would kind of mess with your brain if every time you went in for something that your brain thought it was going to process as a nice smell smelled like garbage.
But it's also probably going to mess with the way you taste things, too. So if it's like, oh, my God, I can't wait to have this burger, and then you have this
garbage
this
burger.
garbage burger. Yeah, that's the smell that, like the smell of the burger, which would normally be great, now smells like ass. You got this ass burger, and you're like, I thought it was just my personality.
Yeah. You mean you're on the spectrum? No, I had an ass burger.
No, I had an ass burger.
Oh, it was
It's
disgusting.
a medical condition.
Yeah. So maybe rich people who are way into wines are among those 1.6 million people who won't be able to enjoy wine tastings anyway. Listen,
I'm sure some of them are.
Yeah, if you're anti-billionaire or whatever, and anyone with common sense would be, you got to take your tiny victories where you can, I guess.
It's one of those things too. Like, I've never been to a wine tasting, but I've been to like tequila tastings and stuff like that, and like different drinking. And people are like, oh, so what do you think? I'm like, it burns like all the other liquor. Like, it's not.
In Tennessee, there's like trailers every 10 feet for these whiskey joints where you go in there and they're trying to sell you big bottles of whiskey, flavored or otherwise, So you're getting half hammered from these little samples. Mm-hmm. And they don't care because, they figure most people feel bad, so they're not going to walk out without buying something. And then they get you on the back end. But yeah, you go, oh, how's that? And there's people swishing it around like that. Yeah, it tastes smoky.
I mean, other than Cleveland whiskey, of course, that's like amazing whiskey and it tastes all great.
Of course. I mean, you've got a lot of, for the refined palates in the group,
Yeah, and that's the difference. Some people probably have a refined palate. I don't. And I'm fine with it. And I don't need that.
Yeah, who are you trying to impress?
No one.
Nobody.
And even if I was, I couldn't.
I like tequila.
I love tequila. And I love all these things.
I have friends who are really into tequila. And I go, yeah, I like that. This is pretty good too. Like, I don't,
Well, I mean, like tequila or bourbon, like where there's like, oh, you gotta get this Blanton's. It's like $200 a bottle, whatever it is. And people, I'm like, but the point of having it is I want to be able to drink it. And if I have something that's so expensive that I'm going to feel guilty drinking it, I don't want that. Give me the old granddad. Let me get wasted and listen to some yacht rock while I'm playing pool in my condo. That's what I want to do.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of that is mentally suggestive selling you, too. They're like, oh, this must be good because it's $200 a bottle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you try and you go, yeah, man, it tastes like bourbon. But, like, I don't know enough about bourbon to care that much. So I'm not going to spend the $200 on it. I'll get something for $20, $30 and then throw some Diet Coke in with it and be just as happy, if not more, because I have more money in my bank account.
There you go.
Corey, when you were drinking, were you worried about like high-end stuff, or you didn't care?
I'm sorry, was I worried about what?
Like high-end, were you ever like, ooh, this is fancy
I
whiskey?
loved it when I wasn't buying it. Like, for example, Jameson made me feel like not only, the drunkest person on earth, but also the most hoity-toity person on earth.
Yeah, because Corey went with us when we did the Jameson shows in Dublin.
I remember.
Yeah.
I feel terrible about that to this day still, Bill.
It's not your fault at all.
Well, I don't remember any of it if it's, any consolation.
He was going to high tea with Erica. That's what I remember. No, Jameson's great.
No, Jameson's great, but that's also like... That's
Irish whiskey.
That's a nice whiskey, but it's not like the fanciest whiskey.
No, I don't give it. I didn't give a hoot when I was drinking at all, as long as I was drinking.
Now, do you think there's a different drunk? Like, if you drink a nicer whiskey, is the hangover worse, or is it just that when you're drinking cheap whiskey, you're drinking a lot more of it, and that's where your badass hangover's coming from?
I seem to get it no matter what I was drinking.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, whatever it was coming, and it was going to be like one of three stages of feeling awful. And I don't know that it was any one type of liquor over another or alcohol over another. No, just plenty.
Hey, Jerry.
Hi.
Hi, what's going on?
You guys were talking about COVID and people losing their taste and their smell.
Yeah.
I had COVID. It's been a year, maybe a little over a year ago, and the only symptoms I ended up with was the no taste and the no smell. And I still don't have that back 100%. And what was the word when you said that people like normal smell smell like really bad?
They referred to it as something called Ponosmia. Was the condition. That's what you've got?
Yeah, I've got that too. Like normal things that would smell like like I made chicken and dumplings for dinner the one night, and normally that would smell good, and I literally got sick because it smelled so bad to me.
Oh,
it
wow.
smelled like sewage and garbage mixed together.
When I first heard of this condition of people losing their sense of smell and thereby kind of their sense of taste too, I wondered if people would end up losing weight because they would be so repulsed by so many things that they had previously eaten that they were like, well, I mean, I got to eat something, but I can't taste anything, so who cares?
So yeah, you're gonna go with the safest option that's not going to smell
It
bad.
was a couple pounds like here and there, but it was nothing major, but it sucks.
That does
It
suck.
sucks really bad because, I mean, there are times that, like, you have no desire to eat anything because it just, either you can't taste it or it tastes really, really bad.
Well, you're in luck though, Jerry, because since you have no taste, I have the perfect remedy for you. It's called Bam Bam by Bill Squire, and it's available wherever you stream albums.
That's right. Good time for farts coming in 2022.
I mean, yeah, sometimes...
Good
it's
news for
every
farts.
Oh, good news.
but-
So it's not Dynamite, the new release from Bill Squire. Good news for farts. Well, listen. So is it? So do you feel at all like it's that there's any movement on it, or like it's progressing or regressing, or it's just the way it was for the whole time?
I don't know, it's different every day.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes, like, I'll go and make something, and the first initial bite I can taste, and it does taste good, but I don't get that whole taste. And
Yeah.
And then after that, I can't really taste anything, so it's pointless.
Man, that sucks.
That is a bum.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
good luck.
Really
Good luck
bad.
out there, Jerry.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, there's Jerry.
But again, good news for farts because you can fart around Jerry. She's not gonna know.
Yeah.
Oh, I dusted Mary yesterday on the way out of the show.
You did?
Oh yeah, we were heading out, and I just.
Did she know it?
Oh yeah. I was
Oh, okay.
I was
You did it on
I'm-
purpose.
I was like, I'm farting right now, and she's like, "Don't do." And then I walked in front of her. Just let it.
You crossed, but you
Yeah.
like did the pass by in front of her, and she walked right into it. Wow.
Today I got into a race just going into a store. Like it's like a block of stores, and there's like a little vestibule to go in before you go in. And I thought the guy was going to the Chipotle like I was, and he was walking real fast. And I was like, I don't even care if this guy gets in front of me, but I'm bored, so I'm going to try and get there first. And so
It was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so he's speeding.
You're playing a game that only you know you're
Yes,
playing.
and
yeah.
he's going real fast, and then I like speed up and like almost catch him, and then he has to hold the door open for me, and I'm hoping he does the door hold where he steps out of the way, lets me through, and then follows me through. But he did the lean behind, just like kind of let it sit there, and then I'll catch it. Mm-hmm. And he gets in there, and then he makes a left and goes into Best Cuts, and I'm like, I should have known based on his haircut. That's where he was going. Should have known. He wasn't
Right.
going to Chipotle. He
I
was
thought you were
just-
going to
he's
crop
got a
dust him
$6
too.
haircut. No, I mean I hadn't had the Chipotle yet, so.
Oh, I see.
That comes
I thought it was
later.
another crop dusting story.
No.
Have you gotten the chance? So you had Chipotle for lunch.
Yeah.
Have you had the chance to crop dust anyone yet? Because
No,
nobody.
Chipotle actually doesn't really make me that farty. Like if it's more like because I've been eating pretty clean lately, so I'm not going in there getting like all the rice, and I'm getting like vegetables, chicken, and tomatoes. So it's
Yep.
like it's a real clean version of Chipotle. That's not going to make me all farty. But when I was eating broccoli, and that broccoli gets me farty.
Sure. We had steak and broccoli the other night, and
I was eating raw broccoli. Raw broccoli gets you.
Standing in the welfare line, not sure who's behind. It wasn't mine, like the Red Sea. The line just parted, 'cause some nasty sucker knew he just had farted.
knew he just had farted. Yeah. So anyway, loss of sense of smell. Long haul COVID. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I definitely want the no smell over things smell terrible, and like at least because we've had people on the show. Ryan Stout is a comedian, and he has like limited or no sense of smell, and so when he eats things, he likes to enjoy. You know, it doesn't taste as much, but he can appreciate textures and stuff like that. And if something that smells good smells bad, you're going to taste that in your mouth, and even the textures aren't going to save it. Because something that's crispy is good, but if it's crispy and tastes like a fart, it's not going to be good.
Hey, did you like that? I mean, the texture was nice. It was crispy. It just tastes like a fart.
Too much fart.
Yeah.
The fart was overpowering.
But also with that condition where things smell like garbage, I wonder if the converse is true or the inverse is true, where the farts would smell great.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Where they're like, oh, God, what is that? Is somebody spray lavender in here? Oh, that's just Bill. He got back from Chipotle.
Did you get some lilacs? No, just passing gas.
Alan, I work with a deaf lady, and she farts with reckless abandon.
That's the dream, man.
But just because you can't hear them doesn't mean you can't feel them.
Yeah, but you don't care.
You don't care if you can't. You can still smell them. I feel like the sound is the least problematic part of the fart. The sound is the best part.
The sound is the thing that everybody enjoys. Like, hearing a fart is hilarious. Smelling a fart can be just terrible.
You won't hear people laughing at you if one gets out at an inopportune time. And that would do lots for self-esteem issues, right?
And there are people that don't have there's no disability. They'll just fart with reckless abandon no matter what.
This woman might not even be deaf.
Yeah.
For all you know.
Yeah, she just likes to fart.
Yep. Alan, do you like Don Julio? I got to tell you, I do, but I'm old school, man. I'm still fine with Jose Cuervo. If you go to a bar now and order Jose Cuervo, they look at you like you just landed from another planet because all these hipper, cooler tequilas have entered that space. You might find a bottle of 1800 somewhere behind the bar, but boy, you sound like you're 100 years old if you ask for Jose Cuervo. But I'm fine with it. Fine with it.
I just like a silver tequila. That's all that matters to me. And even if it's not silver, I'll still drink it.
Right.
I'm not a picky person.
He'll pretend he's deaf and just fart all night.
I won't pretend I'm deaf. I'll just fart all night. I'll just let you know. I pick my spots. I know, if I'm in a place where I shouldn't be farting, I probably won't. But like yesterday leaving the show, Crop Dust and Mary on our way to the elevator, that's a funny time to fart.
Of course. Because she's got to go home. She's got to get prepared for air travel.
Yeah.
That's going to stick with her.
And the last thing she remembers of being on the show is smelling farts.
Yep. It's going to ruin whatever cheese steak she goes to get.
Cheese pillow.
And speaking of farts, Tears for Fears is going on tour in 2022, and they're taking garbage out with them. It'll smell lovely, probably, if you've got that condition. It's May 21 out at Blossom. The tickets are on sale tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, so you'll get the last pair from me before they go on sale tomorrow. So we'll do that on the way back, and I'll have another $1,000 for you to win at 5:30, so listen for that keyword to go fund yourself. 35192 to text, and we'll be back.